On 107, Michael and Maddie. Today is Monday, August 19th, 2024. Happy birthday to Christina Perry. She's 38 today. And Fat Joe, not looking as fat these days. He turns 54.
Have mercy.
Uncle Jesse from Full House. John Stamos turned 61 today. President Clinton celebrating his 81st birthday today. And Matthew Perry, Chandler from Friends. He would have been 55 today. 9 years ago today, after being the spokesman for Subway for 15 years, Jared Fogle agreed to plead guilty to some unspeakable charges. His earliest possible release date isn't until 2029, a month before his 52nd birthday. And no one had ever heard of Lady Gaga, but that all changed 16 years ago today when her debut album Fame was released. And on this date in 2022, the biggest fire in Mattapoisett history broke out at the Mattapoisett Boatyard. One man was seriously hurt. The boatyard burned to the ground. 20 boats and mooring down this morning. It was kind of a sketchy drive in today. The bridge was a little messy, and you can expect some scattered thunderstorms throughout the day as well. It is 69 now.
Bringing your taste of Hollywood right here to the South Coast. And we are here for it. We're spilling the tea with Maddie's Entertainment Update on the Michael and Maddie Show.
Why can't I be in Salem when Channing Tatum is in Salem?
What's he
what
doing
the heck?
Up in Salem.
Channing Tatum got into the Halloween spirit with his daughter Everly a little early this year, but he did it right. I mean, this is the time to go to Salem because then you don't have to deal with everybody else. But he took his 11-year-old daughter Everly to Salem for a spooky summertime trip. He spent 3 days in Salem visiting the historic location of the 1692 Salem witch trials. Witch City walking tours showed the family around, and the tour company's owner, Beth Crowley, told everyone that Everly is very interested in Halloween and witchcraft. She said, I want to stress that this entire tour was crafted and curated for his daughter, which I think is amazing. It shows character. He was just amazing with his daughter, holding her hand, hugging her, joking with her. It was a really cool thing to see. Along with Tatum and Everly, the preteen's nanny, Tatum's sister, and family friends joined in for the Halloween-themed trip. Tatum and Everly's visit included stops at Gallows Hill Theater, the Witch Dungeon Museum, the Peabody Essex Museum, and the Rebecca Nurse Homestead and Samuel Paris Archaeological Site in Danvers. Witch City walking tours shared pictures of the trip, and looks like they joined in on a broom making class.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
They posed with guests, and although people recognized the movie star while he was there, Crowley said he was so gracious and so down to earth. So this is really all about his daughter. His daughter is a huge Halloween fan, so they decided to go in August. Somebody told Channing Tatum that now is the right time to go.
Not wrong.
Because trying to go to Salem, honestly, this is probably, let me look at the calendar here.
It does feel early.
This is probably the last 2 weeks that you can go to Salem where it's not going to be ridiculously packed.
Shoulder to shoulder.
Like
the Madeira Feast, but witch style.
But every single day.
Yeah, no thank you.
Every single day. I have never been. I've never made it. But that's what I hear. My hairdresser, actually, big fan of Salem. And she goes there a lot. And she said that she's actually going soon as well because she's like, I'm not dealing with that crowd. It's ridiculous. So, Channing, come on. Next time you're here.
You're almost here.
Let us know.
Keep coming south. You're almost here.
You're almost here. BB Rexa, poor thing, tearfully claimed that she was, quote, threatened by an airport security agent for speaking Albanian.
Oh, come on.
She said, I've been threatened because I thought the security agent was Albanian. I spoke to him in Albanian asking where to get my ticket, and now he's banning me from the flight. After posting a video of herself crying in the airport, she said, I believe this to be a hate crime because I am Albanian. He would not let me take his name. He continued to mentally abuse me to make me feel like he was more powerful than he was. Not one of the women stepped in or said something, referring to the airline. He would not give me his name, but I just found out he works for ATSG, which is a service company, document control hired by the airline. She said she also reposted another story from a fan account, actually, advocating for her that said, please make sure BB Rexa makes it home safe. Munich Airport, please investigate the male officer who threatened BB for speaking Albanian. The emotional reveal comes only a few weeks after Rexa vented her frustrations with the music industry on social media, saying that she's been silenced and undermined for years. She said, "I am frustrated. I've been so quiet for the longest time. I haven't seen the signs, even though people constantly are bringing them up, and they have been so obvious." Sounds like BB's having a tough season right now.
Yeah,
but, I mean, first of all, I'll tell you firsthand, the airport right now is a circus. It is ridiculous. It is a ridiculous place. If you ever want to know what the opposite of heaven is, just go to the airport, because it is the biggest headache I've ever witnessed. And then to have to deal with that on top of it, threats and feeling mentally abused. Oh, poor thing.
Somebody just threw something at her like a couple months ago.
Right. Wasn't she like the first one?
Was she the first
one? So that, like people are throwing things at her.
What did BB ever do to us?
Seriously, like what did BB do to you? She did nothing.
Leave BB alone.
Can somebody can we get a quality check on BB? We're worried.
I can't do this all night.
Scrubs, man. Scrubs was such a good show.
It's a good vibe.
I'm trying to remember the years that it ran. But we may be getting a new Scrubs show. That's if all goes according to plan with Zach Braff. So this show was 2001 to 2010. This was like that's like a solid decade for TV. And Scrubs was one of the best shows. I loved it. I was a little young to watch it now that I'm thinking about it, but I really did like it. And Zach Braff, all for that Scrubs reboot. But there are a couple things that are holding it back.
I'm going to tell you something that nobody else is going to get.
What's that?
Scrubs is a Disney show. Bill has a Warner Brothers deal. Once those two companies figure that out, I think the people will get what they want.
Give the people what they want.
I had no idea that was a Disney show.
I had no idea either.
Well, I guess maybe the parent company is Disney, because I'm trying to remember what channel it was on.
Yeah, it wasn't Disney. You're right. It's just a parent channel.
Like it definitely wasn't on Disney, right?
Yeah, it was
ABC.
ABC or Fox or something.
Oh, when you would flip through channel 6, 10, and 12 to get the good shows. Am I dating myself? I think.
No.
But he said he's very eager to return to his role. And what I love most is that they're all still friends. I guess Zach Braff is the godfather to his bestie in the show. And it's just, I think that's going to be a really good one. So hopefully that happens. Fingers crossed. More entertainment up right now on the Fun 107. And Maddie, Sassy calling for a rainy, gloomy day today on the South Coast. You can expect some scattered thunderstorms to start in about an hour or so. So have that umbrella ready to go. Nashville was fantastic.
Any rain down there?
No, actually, one night. Randomly, it started to rain. It wasn't even in the forecast. Huge thunderstorms, lightning, the whole shebang. But other than that, it was beautiful, sunny, ungodly hot, though.
No, thank you.
Nashville in August, I don't recommend. Don't recommend. Very, very hot. So hot to the point you can't even enjoy being outside.
That's what makes me wonder why people want to go down south to like Florida, whatnot, when they retire. Maybe it's an older thing, I don't know, but I can't stand the heat. It's too much for me.
I love being in hot weather. I would much rather be warm sometimes than cold, and I was all excited. But this is the type of hot that we just simply don't get around here. I can't even be. It was like walking into an oven.
Stifling.
Like couldn't breathe. You spend more than 5 minutes outside and it's just like instant headache.
Yeah.
Can't even, I needed sunglasses. With that aside, we did have a good time. we really did. We actually stayed in Franklin, which is just outside of Nashville. It reminded me a lot of New England. Interestingly enough, it had like these gorgeous colonial style homes, and I guess in Franklin, their downtown Franklin, Hallmark movies are constantly filmed there because of their quaint little downtown. And I was like, oh, well, that's really cool. No movies were being filmed. But then we stayed in East Nashville. When I tell you about every couple blocks, there was a new construction. Nashville, apparently, I learned this. Nashville has the most cranes in America right now.
That's a fun fact.
All of the cranes are in Nashville. We should have saved that for the Mind Vendor.
That would have been a good one.
But all the cranes are in Nashville. It is the most up-and-coming city right now. It was so fun. And we got a chance to meet up with some friends, which was nice. They wanted to take us to dinner, and they say, we want to take you for pizza. And I'm like, do they know where we're from? Like, I was nervous to go try Nashville pizza coming from Rhode Island because, listen, I'm a little bit of a diva when it comes to pizza. We're treated to delicious pizza every single day, and I'm like, all right, I guess we'll go to pizza. And I was very skeptical. I'm here to tell you, it was good.
Wow.
It was good. At least at this one place, it was good. And it was bar-style pizza.
I like bar-style.
Yeah, so it was good.
Thin crust?
And thin crust.
Yeah.
It was kind of like everything has a little kick to it in Nashville.
Well, that's Nashville hot.
So even the pizza, it was topped with hot honey.
Yeah.
So hot honey is kind of my new thing. Definitely here for it. But yeah, it makes everything a little kick to it. And 10 out of 10. I was very, very pleasantly surprised by the food in Nashville. The thing is, though, like, I'm not a spicy hot girl. So Nettie's hot chicken is like the big thing.
Yeah.
Or excuse me, Hattie B's hot chicken is the big thing. Not really my thing.
Did you go to any Wawas while you're down there?
I didn't go to any Wawas. No.
They got good waffles there.
But like I ordered the most basic stuff, and it was like, boom, a little bit of hotness.
Oh, yeah.
But if you're ever in Nashville, Dicey's Tavern is where you got to go.
Ooh, sounds dicey to me.
It got a little dicey. But it was good.
I gave you an assignment. Did you do it?
Oh, crap. What was my assignment?
To go on Pedal Tavern? Did you do any Pedal Taverns?
So we didn't do any Pedal Taverns.
Oh.
Do you realize how much the locals hate those things?
Oh, I know.
The amount of times I heard locals basically just
trash it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's the word I'm looking for. Trashing it. Because of, like, what happens is the Pedal Taverns can actually go on
the main roadways.
Main roadways and during rush hour and in traffic. So a lot of accidents happen. People fall off. People are reckless.
Drinking too much.
There used to be a hot tub cab.
Now we're talking.
People would drive around Nashville while in a hot tub.
Sipping on margaritas.
That sounds disgusting, first of all.
It does, yeah, because you're sharing water.
Yeah. But no, I did not do a pedal tavern. Not really my thing. I walked around, though. Broadway is such a cool vibe. But, yeah, there's so much more we need to get into with this. I need to talk about the airport.
Okay.
I'm surprised I'm not bald with the amount of hair that I was pulling out over the weekend, but we'll get into it next. The airport is the worst place in the world, and you can't change my mind. It is Michael and Maddie on Fun 107. Back from my trip to Nashville. It was fantastic. If you've never been to Nashville, highly recommend at least once.
Go once.
Broadway is so much fun. The one thing I will say, though, if you have, I don't know, maybe sensitive ears, the amount of live music that is competing against each other on Broadway in Nashville is wild. Because every bar is just bar after bar after bar. They're all playing live music. They are all playing different songs. And they're all competing against each other while you're walking down Broadway. So it's just like, it's almost like a radio that is constantly trying to tune itself.
Oh, yeah.
You know? And
with 5 songs playing at once.
It's very distracting and disorienting. And I was just like, wow, this is crazy. I mean, we would never hear that here because I feel like we have so many noise ordinances or like rules. I know in Rhode Island, in East Greenwich, you can't play anything amped on Main Street, and it has to stop at 10, even if it's acoustic, and all of these rules. There are no such rules in Nashville.
Did you go to Nudies?
Nudies?
Yeah.
No.
It's just a salon. It's a saloon. It's probably like one of the oldest on that one strip there.
No, I went to a couple. I did a lot of touristy things. I went shopping and that sort of thing. I got my Nashville shirt. And
did you get a cowboy hat?
I didn't because they are so expensive. I fell in love with a pair of cowboy boots until I looked at the price tag. $1,200.
Oh.
$1,200. But I digress. Had a great trip to Nashville. Getting home from Nashville was probably the closest thing to HE double hockey sticks that I could have possibly gotten to. The one thing I will say about the South is that there is no sense of urgency with anyone. New England, we are very go, 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 fast pace, get it done, get out of my way type of thing. No such thing in the South, and that goes for their airport as well. We got to the airport. We were supposed to leave the airport on our flight at 6:30. We got to the airport at 4:15. Okay? We are in check-in because we have our little dog, Coco, so we have to go through check-in. When I tell you, it was like the sloths from Zootopia working this check-in. I was losing my mind. And so was everybody else in line. Clock's ticking, clock's ticking, clock's ticking. By the time we reach the counter, we miss our flight.
Nuh-uh.
We miss
Was this yesterday?
the flight. Yep. So this woman is literally typing like this on her keyboard. Yeah, you missed your flight. We're like, yeah, we know.
Oh, duh.
So she starts looking for other flights. She finds me a flight at 10:30. She finds my husband a standby. So standby is basically, oh, let's hope we can get you one, but here, go forward. So he gets on a 7:30 a.m. flight. I'm left with the dog by myself in the airport, losing my mind. If you've ever had a pet in the airport, you know how stressful it is, especially one that is only like 14 months old. And I finally get on the plane. I look at my ticket. I'm like, ooh, I'm seat number 6. I'm like right at the front, baby. Like, this is great. I get on the plane. There's a gentleman in my seat. And I'm like, sir, you're in my seat. And he was like, yeah, I know. I have nowhere to go right now, though, because I don't have anywhere to place my bag. And then we were in this awkward standoff. People are lining up behind me.
Now you're causing a traffic jam.
I had to walk all the way to the back of the plane, let everybody get on the plane, walk all the way to my seat at seat number 6.
With the dog in hand.
With the dog in hand, put my dog down. There is no more baggage space. So I'm holding my backpack in my lap. The plane's about to take off. The flight attendant's like, ma'am, you need to put your bag somewhere. I'm like, where would you like me to put it? They literally had to hold it for me in the back. It was a whole day. When I was supposed to get home at 1 p.m., I got home at 7 p.m.
Oof.
What is going on with the airlines?
Where's your husband?
So we actually met up in North Carolina. we met up in North Carolina, got on a plane together, got home at 7. It was a day. It was a day. And I don't know what's going on with the airlines. I don't know what's going on with airports. I don't like them.
Nope.
They are very, very stressful. So if you are going to be traveling anytime soon, give yourself at least 5 hours to get through the airport. What is happening? On 107, Michael and Maddie. So imagine taking a trip up to space. You're told you're going to be there for a week or so. Then you're told, just kidding, you're going to be there till next year. A lot of people would be scared and nervous about that, but it turns out that these two astronauts, Suni Williams and Butch Wilmore, may be kind of okay with it.
Wow, really? Are you kidding me?
In a very weird kind of way. So, in case you missed it, the Boeing Starliner capsule launched on June 5th for an inaugural test mission, which was originally set to last 8 days. And then it experienced thruster failures and helium leaks before docking safely at the International Space Station. So that prompted NASA to postpone their return to Earth by months. Now the families of the astronauts are speaking out. Butch Wilmore's wife, Deanna Wilmore, saying, we sort of don't expect him back until February. February or March. She said he's just taking it knowing that the Lord is in control. In that sense, the Lord's in control of it. He's content where he is.
Well,
he's content?
I'm just happy that they're on the space station like the ISS and not just floating around in a capsule. That's what I thought it was at first.
Well, so to me, this sounds like they didn't dock safely at
so they're
the
still
ISS.
Floating around.
Yeah, that part's unclear, honestly.
Huh.
As for Suni Williams, who is actually a Massachusetts native, her husband, making the joke that he didn't think she was disappointed to wind up spending more time at the space station, saying that's her happy place.
It's not wrong. I mean, if you're going to go up there for a few days, to
me, this is crazy. To me, this is nuts. When I heard that the families were speaking out, I was expecting a tirade. I was expecting, how dare they, bring back my family.
Yeah.
This is dangerous. Nope. They're like, yeah, you know what? They're going to figure it out. It's all good.
Have fun.
They're all good.
Get home, honey.
She's probably happier up there. She's probably happy.
Man.
She's in her happy place.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I can't even fathom. Suni's 58. Butch is 61. They've traveled to the ISS on past missions. And I guess Boeing and NASA continue to analyze the damages to the spacecraft and conduct some testing. And the government agency weighing options on how to bring them home. So they don't even know how they're getting home.
Great.
And their families are just like, yeah, they're going to figure it out. It's all good.
Where's Buzz Lightyear when you need him? I mean,
all I'm saying is, if my husband was stuck in space, I'd be a little more concerned, right?
I'd be building my own rocket ship.
I'd be a little more concerned. But these are the professionals. They are the astronauts for a reason, I guess.
I didn't know that this was her second mission up there, or that she had previous.
Past. Yeah. Oh, my God. I can't.
It's a big no thank you for me.
This is a big N-O for me. Let's head over to the WBSM newsroom to take a look at the headlines with Phil.
A homicide investigation is underway in New Bedford after 26-year-old Nicholas Miller of Bridgewater was found shot on Saturday. Police responded to reports of a fight and gunfire off Acushnet Avenue around 12:47 a.m. Miller was transported to the hospital but died a short time later. A 34-year-old Fall River man is dead after a motorcycle crash in Somerset. Police say Eric Marrero was riding a motorcycle that was involved in a crash with two other vehicles on Route 6 Saturday. Marrero was rushed to the hospital but pronounced dead shortly after arrival. The cause remains under investigation. A pedestrian who was struck and killed Friday night in Fall River is identified as a 62-year-old woman. Police say Donalda Ferreira was struck by a car on President Avenue, and she was pronounced dead a short time later. Ferreira was struck by a vehicle driven by an unidentified 42-year-old woman who is not facing any charges yet. The investigation into the death is continuing. Surveillance footage led to the arrest of Anthony Giallo, who's accused of murdering Aaron Brito in New Bedford. Prosecutors say Giallo shot Brito multiple times and stole his jewelry. The crime occurred after a night out at the Feast of the Blessed Sacrament. Giallo is being held without bail. 5 people are injured following a shooting in Boston's Franklin Park. The shooting was reported last night near the rear of the Franklin Park Zoo, with 3 males and 2 females shot. All of the victims are expected to survive. The shooting happened as a Dominican festival was ending. Boston police say there were many witnesses, and detectives are urging anyone with video footage of the incident to contact them immediately. The curtain rises on the Democratic National Convention in Chicago today. President Biden is expected to make his case for Vice President Kamala Harris to succeed him when he speaks to delegates in a nationwide TV audience tonight. Day 1 of the convention will include a series of tributes to Biden and what Democratic officials call a passing of the torch moment, with Harris joining him on stage. And Alien Romulus dominated the box office over the weekend. The 7th installment in the Alien franchise, grossing an impressive $41.5 million. It's the second best opening in the franchise's history. In sports, the Red Sox split their 4-game series with the Baltimore Orioles after falling 4-2 in the final at Camden Yards. Boston visits the Houston Astros for a 3-game set that begins tonight. And the New England Patriots close out the preseason on Sunday when they visit the Washington Commanders. Traffic and weather next. From the Blue Point Restaurant Newsroom, I'm Phil Devitt for Fun 107.
Fun 107, Michael and Maddie.
So, one thing you didn't bring up about your Nashville trip, did you do it again? Did you clearly stay off your social media? Because here I am creeping. I'll be honest, I was creeping. Didn't see a single post. There was one.
Yeah.
It was Coco in the backseat of a car, and that's all you posted. And then I think your friends tagged you in one.
Yeah, they tagged me in one. And then I think I did a little selfie with the hubby, like, on our last night.
Yeah.
It wasn't intentional, but I think this is a habit that I'm picking up from my little break I had a while back. I think it was 4th of July week. Completely shut it down. No Instagram, no Facebook, nothing. Deleted it off the phone. And what I'm finding now is I'm not so
absorbed in it. Or?
I'm not so quick to post every moment now.
Gotcha.
Which is cool, it's a cool thing. And it's funny you say that because on the Sunday morning when I was sitting in the airport looking through my phone, I realized I was like, I barely took any photos. I barely took any videos, and I was bummed. But at the same time, I was like, well, that's kind of cool because that means I was in the moment. I was just kind of living. I was just living, man.
Yeah, man. But I was a little bummed because I'd been to Nashville, so I was trying to relive it again through you, and it was just there was nothing there. I'm like, did she go downtown?
Yeah.
Did she go in the Pedal Tavern? Did she do
know.
this?
I was kind of I was an old woman this week.
Bit of a hermit.
A bit of a hermit. I mean, to be fair, our trip was, pretty low key. We did it to just kind of get away and have some time off. And, we brought the dog. We took her to some dog parks and we met up with old friends. And it was that sort of thing. It wasn't the typical let's go cray-cray in Nashville that a lot of people like to do, which, I mean, no harm, no foul on that one. Like, I've certainly been there. But, yeah, I don't know. I just kind of was enjoying the break. I still did a lot of work, but, yeah, it was kind of nice.
I was wondering if you were going to bring that up or not, but it's nice that you didn't even have this thought in the back of your head. It was just kind of a thing.
I honestly didn't really realize it until that Sunday. So the downfall is I don't have many pictures. So that was like, So I got to find that balance of I'm still taking the photos for myself.
That's good, yeah.
And not posting. But yeah, I highly recommend a detox from social media a couple times out of the year. If you can muster up the courage to do so, because I'm noticing some seriously cool improvements where I'm just like, living in the moment.
The growth is real.
Listen, I got some photos on my phone I can show you that weren't Facebook safe.
Oh, now we're talking.
So we'll I'll let you see them a little later.
The off-air show.
Don't make it weird. Let's head to the WBSM newsroom. Here's Phil.
A 26-year-old Bridgewater man was shot and killed in New Bedford over the weekend. Nicholas Miller was shot off Acushnet Avenue early Saturday morning. No word yet on any suspects. A New Bedford man accused of murdering Aaron Brito appeared in court on Friday. Prosecutors say Anthony Giallo shot Brito multiple times and stole his jewelry. Surveillance footage captured the crime, which occurred after a night out at the Feast of the Blessed Sacrament. Giallo is being held without bail. A motorcycle crash claimed the life of a Fall River man on Saturday. 34-year-old Eric Marrero died in a crash on Route 6 near the Veterans Memorial Bridge in Somerset. State police are investigating. A 62-year-old Fall River resident was struck and killed by a vehicle Friday night. Donalda Ferreira died after being hit on President Avenue. The driver, a 42-year-old Fall River woman, remained on scene and cooperated with investigators. No charges have been filed. 5 people shot in Boston's Franklin Park on Sunday night. 3 men and 2 women. All are expected to survive. Police say there were many witnesses and they're looking for video footage. No injuries reported after a possible propane explosion on the deck of a home in Bristol. Firefighters were called to the home on Hydrolian Avenue Sunday night and found heavy fire extending to the attic. The residents were able to get out of the home safely, and the exact cause of the fire is under investigation. Major changes are coming to Stewart Healthcare in Massachusetts. Governor Healy announced that 5 hospitals will transition to new operators. Those include St. Anne's in Fall River and Morton in Taunton, which will be managed by Rhode Island's Lifespan. The deal aims to secure patient care and jobs at the facilities, with final approvals pending. Animal rights group PETA plans to honor a bull shot and killed in Raynham last week. The bull escaped a farm and caused a highway crash before being euthanized by its owner. It was on its way to be slaughtered when it escaped. PETA says a billboard will urge drivers to go vegan, calling the bull's actions a fight for freedom. And a group of women went topless on Boston Common Saturday in a gender equality protest. Around a dozen women marched through the Common and called on state lawmakers to make it legal for women to bare their breasts in public. Several of the women in the protest marched to the State House with no tops on and the words equal rights written on their backs. There were no arrests reported. In sports, Red Sox lost to the Baltimore Orioles 4-2, splitting their series. Next up, a 3-game set with the Houston Astros, Sox in Texas for the first game tonight. New England Patriots head to Washington next weekend. Final preseason game with the Commanders on Sunday. Traffic and weather next. From the Blue Point Restaurant Newsroom, I'm Phil Devitt for Fun 107.
Well, you don't see this every day. It is Michael and Maddie on Fun 107, and a parrot decided to have itself a time. A little vacay out in Fairhaven. Created quite the buzz when a macaw parrot was just out and about in Fairhaven, and you don't see that ever.
Beautiful colors. I mean,
so the macaw parrot is the stereotypical parrot that you probably drew as a kid.
Yeah.
Full of color, just gorgeous parrot, but definitely not something that you see in Massachusetts, let alone in Fairhaven. So people were wondering why they were spotting this macaw parrot in a tree over the weekend. Apparently his name is Nico, and the poor thing got out of its cage. Its owner, unfortunately, left the door open, I guess.
Oh, no.
So a bunch of people were rallying around Nico, trying to save him. And word on the street is, they left the sliding glass door open. He didn't realize it because I guess the curtain was closed, but Nico got out. He was out for a couple days, and the owner put the cage outside. They were hoping that they could kind of coax him down from the tree, but he was really high up. So there was a tree by the house, so they could see him in the tree. They saw him there, but they just couldn't get him down. And then I think, from what it looks like, they kind of lost him altogether because they notified animal control, they notified police, asked people to kind of keep an eye out. So it created quite the buzz in town.
They should have just used Fruit Loops.
Oh, my God.
I know that's a toucan. I get it. But it's the same.
That's a totally different bird.
Yeah, but I mean, if I'm a bird and I see colorful, little tiny cereal rings, I'm flocking right to it.
Yeah, okay.
Have you ever, all right, let's put it this way. I'll make this long story short. I had a neighbor who had 2 of these macaws, and they were very chatty Cathys. The neighbor had an obsession with horror films, especially thrashers. Is that what it's called? Slashers. So out of nowhere one day, I'm in the shower, and I had to run to grab any kind of clothes. I thought my neighbor was getting murdered. And it was just the birds going back and forth with one another.
No.
One saying, stop, stop. The other one is, die this, die that.
Oh, my
God.
God.
Oh, yeah, unbelievable. I was this close to calling the police when I realized it was just 2 parrots going back and forth. So all I'm going to say is if you own these macaws, if you own these parrots that can learn from you, be careful.
Wow.
I mean, I thought I was about to witness something that was going to change my life forever. And it kind of did. It was 2 parrots going at each other, but I digress. So
that's so funny.
The
first thing that pops up when you type in scarlet macaw is, can scarlet macaws speak? And it says they do a lot more screaming than they do talking.
Oh, yeah. There was a lot of screaming, that's for sure. It was absolute horror.
I'm excited, though, because this story has a happy ending. And you can find that story on the Fun 107 app. Fun 107. Michael and Maddie. Good morning. Would you let a robot give you a manicure? That is the question this morning. Because I don't know how I feel about this. Robot manicures now available in Rhode Island, in my neck of the woods. It is the first robot manicure. It's called Nails Like Clockwork. And it's available at Glistening Goddesses in Johnston. I've been to Glistening Goddesses for my spray tan. They do really good spray tans. Apparently they do manicures as well. But this is crazy. A legitimate robot will sit there and give you a $15 manicure.
Pros and cons right off the bat. Pros, you don't got to talk to anybody.
First of all, pros, you don't have to talk to somebody. Pros, it's also $15. What?
Oh.
Like, when is the last time you've ever paid for a manicure that was less than $50?
Well, they don't have to pay. They don't have to pay the robot.
At least for me. That's so true. But you gotta, I'm sure it costs a good amount of money,
course.
right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But now you can pump these things out. You don't have to worry about somebody taking a break.
So it says the manicure lasts 10 minutes, and Glistening Goddess is known for their spray tan. So they're saying you can pair your tan with a 10-minute manicure, and the Clockwork Robot Manicure now available for just $15. People are kind of divided on whether or not they would like this. Beth saying that she would try it, but she's just into the nail polish. I like getting the tips. Do you know what that means?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Oh, French?
No, you get tips added onto your nails to make them look longer.
Oh.
It's a girl thing. It's fine. But yes, somebody, Amy Papa's saying, well, this is just something else to eliminate jobs and human contact. Yeah, kind of. Wendy, no thanks.
No, thank you.
Sandy saying, I like my fingers too much. No thanks. Yeah, see, like, I think I would be worried about the malfunctioning aspect. That
was the word I was looking for. One word was malfunction.
You know, like, what happens if the robot's doing its thing and then all of a sudden that, like, little sander it uses is sanding a little too far down and then you're, yeah, I don't know. This is, I have so many questions and I need to know more. But a lot of people are divided. They're saying no. Others are saying I'm all about it. Nice and easy. Again, less interaction. You can just kind of get your spray tan, put your fingers in this little machine, and come out with a nice new manicure. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'd give it a try just for the experience.
I would try it on a manicure, but when they start coming out with robot pedicures, and you got this machine playing with your Piggly Wigglies, that's where I'm done.
Yeah,
that's
pedicures.
Where I call it quits.
Well, I always embarrass myself during pedicures because I laugh the entire time. Like I'm incredibly ticklish, so I tend to embarrass myself on that one. Yeah, I don't know. Yay or nay? I don't know. Would you let a robot give yourself a manicure? Let us know by sending some audio on the Fun 107 app.